Let's introspect before listening. Gently close your eyes. Think about how you react after making a mistake. Do you try to learn or get upset? Here is a story of a scientist's childhood. Once a famous scientist was interviewed by a reporter. The reporter asked him, "What do you think set you apart from others?" He replied, "I think it all came from an experience that occurred in my childhood. When I was 3 years old, I was trying to get a bottle of milk from the refrigerator, and while doing so, I lost my grip and the bottle slipped out of my hands and fell, spilling the milk all over the kitchen floor. I was afraid. When my mother came to the kitchen and saw the mess, instead of yelling at me or giving me a lecture or punishment, she said, "Robbie, I have rarely seen such a huge puddle of milk. Well, the damage has already been done. Would you like to get down and play in the milk for a few minutes before we clean it up?" And indeed, I did start playing in that milk. While I was still playing in the milk, a few minutes later, my mother came back and said, "You know, whenever you make a mess like this, eventually you have to clean it up and restore everything back to its proper order." Then she asked, "How would you like to do it? We can use a sponge or a towel or a mop to clean this up. What do you prefer?" I chose a sponge, and then I cleaned up the spilled milk with my mother's help. My mother then said, "You know, what we have here is a failed experiment in how to effectively carry a big bottle with two hands. Now, let's go out in the backyard and fill a same sized bottle with water and see if you can discover a way to carry it without dropping it." That way, I learned that if I grasped the bottle near the tip with both hands, then I could carry it without dropping it. At the end of the interview, the scientist remarked, "It was at that moment I knew that I don't need to be afraid to make mistakes. Instead, I learned that mistakes were just opportunities for learning something new, and that's what scientist experiments are all about. Even if an experiment does not work, we usually learn something valuable from it. Make mistakes and learn from them, but never repeat mistakes." So children, make mistakes and learn from them, but never repeat mistakes. Because life is all about the art of acceptance. We have to learn to continuously adjust according to the circumstances without getting upset. No one is perfect. We are clashing with each other with our shortcomings. If we want perfection, we must first ask ourselves, am I perfect? Thank you and have a nice day ahead.